How you doing there, folks? I used to make a lot of recordings, and I never really did anything with them. I listened to them a few times, but ultimately I didn't upload anything, and that was my original intention when I began making recordings a long time ago, to put them online and get a little bit of feedback. But ultimately this kind of craft one does for themselves, for the benefit of themselves primarily. I follow a lot of people on the internet who do this kind of thing, and that's my understanding of why they do it, and most importantly why they continue to do it over a long period of time. But the reality is it can be very beneficial for other people, unknown people, random people who can listen to them, different talks at different times, and get some kind of benefit. So I think it'll be good for me, and realistically good for a few people. My talks are not likely to be that exciting, and that they're not going to be for everybody, but that's fine. So I figured, as a little introduction, that would be sufficient. It's hard to say what I'm going to talk about on an ongoing basis, but cross that bridge when we come to it. And it's funny. There's a tremendous sense of doubt when it comes to doing something like this. It's really not a conventional thing. I mean, nowadays you have vlogging and all of that stuff. But I don't really think of this as the same thing as vlogging. This is more, it's almost like journaling, but again, it's a new category. For me, the thing I like about this medium of recording a voice, recording a stream of consciousness, talk, and putting it on the internet, is that it captures the tone of someone speaking, which to me is it's interesting when you compare it to written word, the written words in a book, which completely lack tone. I'm not sure I could put into words why I like the presence of tone, but to me there's a subtlety to it. There's information in the tone. There is meaning, in a sense, in a manner of speaking. And I'm sure I'll touch on this again later, but for now it's enough to make any listener aware of tone, pay more attention to tone. And I think a lot of the information that is conveyed through tone is subconscious, but that doesn't mean it's not extremely important or valuable. I personally think it has the potential to convey important information, whether it be consciously or subconsciously. For example, if you ever go to university, or you listen to a university style lecture, you'll see that, well, you might not see it, but when you find a really good lecturer, to me it's their perfected use of tone that makes the lecture good. It makes the learning, what they're trying to convey, much smoother, makes you remember things much more clearly. I mean, I recall sometimes I would be sitting in an exam back when I was in university, and I'm reading a question in the exam, and I would have a memory of the answer, and my memory would be the tone of the voice of my lecturer explaining the point. Even if it was something I did not revise in my notes at all, or something that I didn't go over while I was studying at all, I just remembered the tone of the voice from some point in the past. I could never pinpoint when it was that I remembered them saying that exactly. Just I could just recall the tone. So I'm a big fan of tone, and all of the variations in speech and pronunciations that are sort of fall within the description of tone. I mean, there is more to it than just. I feel like the word tone might just people might confuse that as just the kind of sound, but I guess what I'm hinting at is more inclusive of pronunciation as well. So anyway, that's why I like this medium, and why I've chosen it as something I want to pursue further. But yeah, the other thing that's interesting to me about making these kind of talks is that there's a tremendous sense of anxiety and doubt. I think I mentioned doubt before, but I mean, that's why I have never. That's why my last major attempt, where I recorded many things but never uploaded any of them, was because of doubt and self. Just an anxiety and a doubt and a lack of courage, and convincing myself that it was pointless or not necessary. I can tell you right now, there's a subtle anxious feeling, and although I knew that this would be good for me and I wanted to do this kind of thing, when I was right about to start the recording, it was, kind of a new flush of doubt, and it would say in the back of your mind, you don't really have to do this right now. You can do this later. Or you don't really need to do this in general. I mean, what's this going to achieve? So, I mean, these kind of doubts happen in all aspects of life. But ultimately, I have been thinking about doing this kind of thing for long enough that I can see through my concerns to the bigger picture and know that it's important. And that's basically it. Now, I know I have a shitload of different talks that I want to give, and I guess I just have to be aware in a kind of meta-cognitive sense that maybe I'll have an intention to talk about one thing and the talk will evolve and unfold into an entirely different topic, or it'll be a mix of different topics, and I think I just have to learn to accept that. I mean, I've been following certain people who give similar style talks for a long time, and the thing I've learned from listening to them over a long period of time is that a lot of the messages are so big and so difficult and so deep, if you will, to convey in a single talk that it never quite gets achieved. You just kind of, you have an attempt and you upload it, and maybe plenty of people give good feedback, but you might find you touch on this topic again many times in the future. You give it the newest iteration of the same topic, your attempt at the same topic, and there's always going to be different variations to how it unfolds, and so that's quite alright. I'm going to do my best. So without further ado, I think that's a good enough introduction. I'm going to turn this off now and start a new one with kind of topic 1, which I've already planned out, and maybe I'll just slap this on the start of topic 1. Anyway, thanks for checking me out, giving me the time. Catch you soon.